A man is dying, and the two people who love him most send an urgent message to the one person who can save him. The message is simple. Lord, the one you love, is sick, and the person who gets that message, who has healed strangers, lepers, a man born blind, does something almost nobody expects. He waits. Lazarus lived in Bethany, a small village outside Jerusalem, with his sisters Martha and Mary. All three of them were close to Jesus, not distant followers, but real friends, the kind whose house he stayed in. When Lazarus fell seriously ill, the sisters didn't ask Jesus to come. They just told him. They trusted that telling him would be enough. Here's the detail that makes what happens next so strange. John's Gospel says plainly, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Then, in the very next sentence, when he heard Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days, not despite loving them. The text places the love and the delay right next to each other, as if daring you to notice the tension. 2 days away, doing nothing, while a friend was dying. By any normal reading, that's not what love looks like, and Jesus never explains the wait to Martha or Mary in the moment. He just lets the silence sit there. When he finally tells his disciples they're going back to Judea, they're confused for a different reason. The last time Jesus was near Jerusalem, people tried to stone him. Going back looks like walking into danger for a friend who, as far as they know, is just sick. Then Jesus says the line that's easy to skip past. Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. Glad. His friend is dead, and he says he's glad he wasn't there to prevent it. Not glad Lazarus died, but glad about what the timing makes possible. By the time Jesus arrives in Bethany, Lazarus has been in the tomb 4 days. In that culture, 4 days mattered specifically. It was long enough that no one could claim he'd merely fainted. Dead was dead, confirmed beyond doubt. Martha goes out to meet him before he even reaches the house. Her first words aren't a greeting, they're an accusation. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Straightforward grief, aimed directly at the one person who could have stopped it and didn't. And yet in the same breath, she doesn't walk away. She adds, but even now, I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. Grief and trust held together without either one cancelling out the other. Jesus tells her Lazarus will rise again. Martha assumes he means the distant future, the general resurrection at the end of all things, a belief plenty of Jews of her time already held. Jesus corrects the timeline. I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. He's not describing a doctrine, he's describing himself. Then Mary comes out, and she says the exact same sentence her sister said, word for word. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. 2 sisters, independently, arriving at the identical accusation. It's clearly what they'd been saying to each other for 4 days. This is where the text does something unexpected. Jesus doesn't respond with an explanation. He's described as deeply moved and troubled. And then famously, in the shortest verse in the entire Bible, Jesus wept. He already knows he's about to raise Lazarus from the dead. He weeps anyway. The crowd standing nearby splits into 2 reactions. Some say, see how he loved him. Others say something sharper. Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man also have kept this man from dying? The same question hanging over the whole scene, asked out loud by strangers. At the tomb, Jesus gives one instruction: take away the stone. Martha, ever practical, objects. By now, there will be a smell. 4 days is past the point of anyone wanting that stone moved. He tells her again to trust him, and the stone comes away. Jesus prays aloud, not to convince God, but so the crowd standing there will understand what's about to happen came from God, not from him alone. Then he says 2 words into the open tomb: Lazarus, come out. And a dead man walks out, still wrapped in the burial cloths, hands and feet bound, face covered. Unbind him and let him go. Many who saw it believed in Jesus that day. But John records something else happening in the same breath. The religious leaders hear what happened at that tomb, and from that day on, they start planning to kill him. The miracle that proved his power over death is the same miracle that starts the countdown to his own. Why would Jesus say he was glad his friend died? Tell me what you think that delay was really for. And if a miracle powerful enough to raise the dead is also the miracle that gets a man marked for execution, that's where the story goes next.